because in exam it's a very pressurous situation. You are solving out, your mind is into completing the exams. Again, you want to be technically correct. So what is the best way? I feel these sums are very easy, and comparatively you can solve it much faster than any other questions. Straight away you get 10 marks per question because there are 5 MCQs involved. And if you get it right, in the MCQs, what I feel is nobody can dispute. Is there a human element evaluating your MCQs? Tell me. Is there any kind of subjectivity involved?
No, sir.
It's perfect. Half of your paper, 60% of your paper is being evaluated by a automated system. So there will be no subjectivity. Either you are right or you are wrong. There is only two options available. There is no subjectivity. Either you will get 2 marks or you will get 0 marks. Some of the students feel, sir, there were two statements. Which among the following two statements are correct? My one statement was correct, but another statement was incorrect. So can I get 1 mark? ACC does not give 1 mark in an MCQ. It either gives you 0 marks or it will give you 2 marks. So you will never get partial marks for an MCQ. I hope this information is clear. All of you understand it. Now, uh, again, one more misunderstanding which students have about multiple choice. Are these going to be always with four options A, B, C, D, like the Kaun Banega Karodpati, A, B, C, D option? Are all questions like that?
No, sir.
No. Keshav, what are you aware of? What are the kind of questions that may pop up in the examinations?
So some are theoretical based, and
Okay,
some
some
are,
are theoretical, fine.
and sometimes they ask about the exact amount, means like what is the depreciation at the exact date.
Exact. So can we say these are number filling questions? You will have to
Yes,
spot
sir.
the number and punch it into that box.
Yes, sir. Like fill in the
Sometimes
blanks.
we
Hmm.
match the following also, like the theory
Yes.
questions.
So that can be something like hotspots. You have to click one and select one, some two matching of things which you have to do. We can call it as hotspots there.
Yes or no questions.
Yes or no questions. Perfect. So you choose yes or no. Yes. Do you see something like a drop down also? Like how you fill up forms, Mr., Mrs., Master. So like that, a drop down comes in with the
Yes.
options there. That also is there. Have you seen one or times? I think in the specimen exam there is a graph, and you have to go and
Yes,
point
sir.
out on that
The
graph a point
EPS
there.
question.
Yes,
There's a EPS question related to it.
yes, there is a EPS question. Yes, there is. That is also one sort of questions which they are asking nowadays. So very popular. Hotspots are very popular. Then as you rightly said, true and false are very popular. And then the most popular is the ABCD option. Now, number filling. What is the percentage of this number filling question? The percentage is very small. It's not that every second question is you have to fill up numbers. You can say that can be max, out of the 30 questions, I think 4 or 5 questions max can be number filling, not more than that. And that's been my observation over the exams. And I feel that also is not very, very difficult. Okay. Now, how to go about this section B? There's a big case study given on the concepts we just now studied. A little bit different concepts are also there, but we'll study that too in this sum. Now, how do you study this sum? I will recommend that you study the question stems. Do you see the question stem here for 16? This is called as the stem of the question. Now, I don't want you to read it very specifically, but I want you to just give me a theme as to what they are asking. Just in few words, what are they asking you to do?
So they are asking for the cost to be, means what type of cost will be capitalized.
Capitalize. So just now we studied what cost can be capitalized in initial recognition. Maybe it is about that, right?
Yes, sir.
It is the second question asking you to do. It's asking you to tell which of the following would classify it as a capital expenditure. Okay. Is this dependent on the above case study or can you independently solve?
Independent.
Independent. It will
Independent.
be independently
Can we
solved, but
solve
the
it right
underlying
away? Can we
concept is
finish it
same.
off? Yeah. Which one is it? 17th answer will be what?
B, sir.
Yes,
B.
B.
B. Okay. Why not C?
From promotion is not an capitalizable
Yes.
expenditure.
Promotions cannot be capitalized. What about D?
Sir, it is only
From
maintaining with the
maintainer.
expenditure.
Maintenance. Maintenance is subsequent and maintenance is revenue in nature.
Yes,
Relocation also we cannot capitalize. We studied. What about property insurance
Sir, it
premium?
is a revenue expenditure. Each and every year we have to pay.
That is not the proper logic, though I agree that it will not be capitalized. Can we say it is related to admin and general overheads?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it property insurance premium? Is it directly going in constructing that building? No, but it is a general or administrative overhead. Okay, that is the answer. Question number 18. Again, do you need the above case study to solve it or can you solve it independent?
sir, independently.
Independent. So you solve it independent. What is the answer? Now you have to say which of the following statement is false. Don't you think these are very confusing questions when they ask you to identify false, right?
Is it A?
No, the answer is not A, but we'll come to it. First, answer my question, Yashasvi. Is it confusing to answer false questions many times?
Sir.
Yes. See, we have been always taught, by spiritual gurus and motivational leaders to be always positive in our life, isn't it? So, can we be a bit positive about this question and find out what is true, right? So, let us first find out which among the following statements are true. Now, when you revalue an asset in the subsequent years, will you depreciate it on cost or will you depreciate it on revalued amount? Tell me.
Sir, revalued amount.
So can we say this is a true statement? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now go to the option D. I'm going from the lower down to the up. Residual value and useful life of a head office building must be
True.
reviewed each year. Yes, we should
Yes.
review all these parameters.
Yes,
Each
sir.
true. Each component of the head office is
No.
revalued separately.
False.
False. Sir.
So you say it is false. Why?
So we do that only for complex assets.
Yes, we do it only for complex asset and building is one asset. And what have been said that agar hum revaluation model follow revaluation model, we have to follow it for only one building or the entire class of assets.
Sir, entire class of
Entire class. So you cannot put each component of head office separately and revalue. This is false. Okay. What about B? Any revaluation gain, will you take it to the P&L or OCI?
OCI,
OCI.
sir.
Okay, and any loss, we will take it to the.
Profit and loss.
Can we say this is true?
Yes,
Yes.
Now,
sir.
are they asking you to identify true statements or false statements? You check it.
False.
That's false.
False
Then the
statement.
option should be C. See, if you answer these questions which are false in this way, sometimes they don't ask you, which among the following statements are incorrect. Never find incorrect statement. Find the correct statements and remaining unticked will be the incorrect statement. Do you think this will make a difference in your thinking when you go there?
Yes, sir.
Right. Do that. Do that. It's a very important recommendation to all the students because no matter now how much you plan in exam, this is going to be a very confusing thing to answer incorrect statements, to answer false statements. Okay. What is question 19 about?
CGUs.
CGU. And CGU is you have studied with reference to which standard?
Impairments.
Impairment. IAS 36. Okay, fine. And what is the last question? is it independent or dependent?
Independent, sir.
Independent.
It's dependent, sir.
They asking you correct or incorrect.
Correct.
And why have they given you is oblique R? Why have they given you is oblique R?
What options are correct? That is why.
Yes, yes. You have to identify that it's not only one option, both can be also correct. One can be correct. Okay. Neither of them can be correct. Okay. What do you feel? Should you test your assets for impairment each reporting period? They're talking about tangible
Yes, sir.
assets.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, correct. We have to check it each reporting day. What about the second option? Annual impairment reviews are required on intangible assets with indefinite. Indefinite, you do annual or when indicators exist.
Annual, sir.
Annual, sir.
This is also correct. So option 1 and 2 means option C. Am I right? Now that leaves us to solve how many questions? Question number 16.
Question.
Right. Shall we check which asset cost? Now, how to read this question? Many students are not reading the questions. What are they asking you? Tell me. What are the important aspects which you have to pay attention? Tell me. Are they asking you capitalization? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
For which asset?
Head
The
office building.
extension.
Head office building. Okay. For which year ending? For which year ending? Are they asking you the value to be computed as 31st December 09, 08, 07?
08.
Yes.
08.
Yes. Why date can be important? Why date can be important? Because if there is you don't factor in dates, don't you think depreciation will play a role on this building? Isn't it? Okay. Now go to this scenario. So during the year ending for this date, Linetti is extending their head office. Cost associated with this head office extension is as follows. Now you tell me which are to be added, which are not to be added. Can we take land into the cost?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
What about fees for environmental certifications and business building permits?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is
Capitalized.
a direct cost. If you don't take it, the permits, can you construct the building?
No, sir.
What about architect and engineers?
Yes, sir.
Capitalized, sir.
Okay, capitalize. Why? We read about professional fees. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Construction material and labor.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
because it's
sir.
a
We should deduct the
self-constructed
unused
asset,
material.
yes. But should we also include unused cost of
No, sir.
material? No.
No.
We can take it, but we have to reduce how much?
0.
Cost.
Point five. Point
Oh,
5 million.
0.5 million. So we will reduce 0.5 million. Okay. At that date, total borrowing cost on a loan, which was used to specifically finance the head office extension was 0.8. Can we add it? Borrowing
Yes,
cost.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now you have to remember, is it a purchased building or is it a self-constructed building?
Self-constructed.
Okay. If it was a purchased building, can you still add 0.8 million?
No, sir. It has to
No,
be
sir.
It will not be a qualifying asset. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what will be the answer? 10 plus 0.5 plus 1. So 11.5. How much will this will be? 16.5, 16.6, 17.4. Is it 17.4?
So 18.4, sir.
18.4. Okay. My bad. 18.4.
Yes, sir.
Just check it. Is that your option?
18.4.
Okay. Fine.
I do have a doubt here. It is
Yeah.
told that
Hmm.
year ended 31st December, and the unused and the borrowing costs are on 30th December, 30 September. So how
Right.
can we add them or subtract them? Because the year gets over and we are preparing notes on 31st December.
Okay.
And this information we disclosed it बाद में, I mean.
Right. So see, by 30th September, building got over, right? I mean, the head office extension became available for use. So ideally, I mean, this 0.5 million, which was unused, don't you think you will return it back to your suppliers?
Yeah.
So basically, can we say even if you don't return it back to the suppliers, let us say there is a cement bags lying, which are 0.5 million. Don't you think these are abnormal losses which we discussed are excluded? We cannot use this cement bags or steel now. So anyways, this is going to be expensive. Okay. Now coming to the borrowing cost. Borrowing cost IAS 23 is taking care. Now you are right that they are asking us for 31st December 08, right? But then I have not been given any depreciation numbers here, to give me exact value as on 31st December. And more so ever, they had only specifically asked what amount should be capitalized. They did not ask me what is the carrying value of the building as on 31st December 08. Did they ask me carrying value
No,
or did they ask me amount to be capitalized?
only amount.
Yes. So don't you think the answer is in the requirement question?
So sir, if it was given after 31st December, like
Yes.
2009 ka information, then we wouldn't
Yes.
include it.
Yes. Because see, then the building was available for use from September 08, right? तो हमारे पास कितना टाइम बचता after that year end? October, November and December. So based on if they had given that the building is having 10 years life, I would have taken 3 out, 3 by 12 into 1 by 10 depreciation. Got it?
Yeah.
3 months out of the 12 months and over a period of 10 years. Like that. Hope I've satisfied your query. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to that second numerical question. Now, what are they trying to ask you? Read the requirement first. They're asking you Scully, which represents a CGU. They're asking you to calculate carrying amount of the entire CGU or specific asset.
Specific asset.
Specific asset.
As on what date?
December 2000.
December 2000.
Okay. So December 08 brand ka value we have to find out in that CGU. We go back here. Now, I think you are already known how to, do the CGU sums. So just apply
Yes,
your
sir.
logic here. So this is your question now. You have to stick into this box and then answer. So what is 11.8, guys? What is it given here? 11.8 likha hai. Can we say this is our CV?
Cash flows.
Yes, sir. Carrying amount
And what is our recoverable amount?
9.6.
So I will write 9.6 here. Okay. So what is the impairment loss between this?
2.2.
2.2. Okay. 2.2. Is there a specific impairment here? Any asset which gets specific impaired? ऐसा कुछ है क्या?
Goodwill.
Goodwill. No, except for goodwill, is there, have they given any brand name or PP is damaged or impaired specifically?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. So then we will take it to goodwill 1.4. This will become nil. Okay. Then should we apply to current assets as well?
No, sir. It will be taken
Why
at the
not?
carrying amount only.
Carry.
Yes, because see, if anybody asks you क्यों नहीं लिया यहाँ पर current assets में, you tell them because IAS 36 does not apply to current assets. It applies to non-current assets. Now, how much impairment is left with? Can I say 0.8 million? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Between
sir.
brand and
PPE.
PPE. Brand is 2 million and PP is 6. So can I simplify the ratio 1:3? Right? In brand, you have to take 1 parts. In PP, you have to take 3 parts, isn't it? Can you split this into 1:3?
Yes, sir.
How much will go to
Sir,
brand
the
then?
loss for brand
200.
4.2.
Yes. And this will be 0.6. So brand will be how much? 2.2 minus 0.2 is 1.8.
1.8.
8.
6 minus 0.6 is 5.
5.4.
Answer is 1.
1.8.
Are these sums very easy to solve if you know the logic here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You should feel lucky if you get this question, similar questions in
Yes,
examination.
sir. Yes, sir.
Let me give a twist to this sum. Can I give one small twist just for our understanding sake? Okay. We'll be erasing everything here, what we wrote here, to give it a twist. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then you give me the answer. Okay, let me copy it and to give you that small twist in this sum. So let us take it to an Excel sheet here, paste it. What if I say to you in this sum an item of plant was impaired, and I tell to you that carrying value of that asset was 2 million, fair value less cost to sell was 1.6 million, and value in use was 1.8 million. Now, what will you do in this case? I gave you these three parameters now.
We will
Sir,
consider
we will
one.
consider 1.8, sir.
Okay, why will you consider 1.8?
Sir, because we have to take
The
Sir, we
higher.
take
value
greater
used
of
is higher.
value in
Yes,
use
we have to
and
take
sales.
higher of both of them to get the recoverable amount, right? We'll
Yes,
get the
Yes, sir.
recoverable amount if we take higher of this. So when we compare 2 million with the recoverable amount of higher one, which is
Value value.
1.8 million, what is the impairment loss we get?
0.2.
0.2. Perfect. 0.2.
Two.
Now, what will you do if you are to do this sum? Let us put it goodwill, brand, PPE, and current assets. And you have been given the carrying value as 1.4, 2.0, 6.0, 2.4. So how will you solve this sum? Can anybody tell me?
Before goodwill, we will remove the 0.2 PP.
Perfect. Okay. Can we do that? So from where we will remove? From the plant, right? PP. Now, how should we do? Should I directly take 6 minus 0.2, or should I split 6 into two parts to make it convenient?
In 2 parts.
I feel we should split 6 into two parts, which is one is impaired asset, right? And one is the working asset, right? Now, how much part is impaired out of 6?
2.
2. And how much is good?
4.
4. Right? Now, you put the impairment loss, which makes it very easy to then do it. Can I put 1 point, I mean, impairment loss kitna hai? 0.2, right? Can I put 0.2 like this? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now, out of 2.2, 0.2 has gone. Where should we go? Minus 1.4 goodwill.
Will. Yes.
Current assets may we will not put, so it will remain unchanged. This will become 0. This will become what? Impaired asset. 1.8. Now, how much is remaining? How much is remaining? Again,
0.6.
0.6. 0.6, how will you allocate? You have
Brand
brand and then to
working
PPE,
on
which is working, okay, not the impaired one. So brand is 2 and working is 4. So what is the ratio from 1
1 is to 2.
to 2? Can we allocate 1 is to 2? How much will go to brand then? 0.6 में से.
0.2.
0.2.
Okay, minus 0.2 will go here. So can I say minus 0.4 will go here? Get it?
Yes.
So this is the twist max you will get in the CGU sums. If you know this, impairment is also there. Can anybody tell me 2 or 3 reasons for impairment? Impairment क्यों होता है?
Sir, increase in the interest rates.
Increase in, and थोड़ा सा ये complex point है. Can you elaborate why interest rates increase?
Sir, if interest rates are increased, it will have a direct impact over the present value of the asset.
Okay. Are you sure increase in interest rates will impair or decrease in interest rates will impair?
Increase in interest rate, sir.
Okay. Increase in interest rates. Okay. So see where do you use interest rates in calculation of impairment?
Discount something.
Discount something. Where do you discount? For which
Your value in use.
value in use? So if
Percent value.
absolutely, if your discounting rate increases, let me just take one small example. Let us say there is a year. There are 3 years, right? We're just going to prove this fact. I just want you all to be very clear about what we are doing here. Let us say you had this cash flows, which was 5,000 each year. Can I discount here by 10% first and then get the PV? Or यही
Yes, sir.
calculation we will do it with 12%. Shall we check out where what happens there? If we take the second calculation with 12%. Can you help me discount this? How do you
Yes,
discounting factor? 1.
1 divided by 1 plus r
Plus
power of.
So can I say 1.10? 1 plus r is
Yes, sir.
1.10 to the
Yes.
power of
1.
1.
n.
Okay. N. That is 1. Second year will be 2.
2.
Third year will be
3.
correct. I'll copy this thing here. But here the discounting rate will be how much? 1 divided by 1.12. Am I right?
Yes,
So
sir.
Yes, sir.
this we will take it here. Second year. And then we have the third year. Okay. Then you compute the PV. You get this amount here. Then you get this amount here. And the totals and just rounding of these totals for you to easily look at it. Now, what is happening? When the interest rate is higher, now this is coming as lower, and when the interest rate is lower, then this is coming as higher. So what do you think impairment? So I'll give you an example. Let us say your carrying value was 15,000. Your fair value less cost to sell was 10,000. Now compute what will be the impairment loss in the first case. Compute.
5.
Now why 5? You have to take recoverable amount what? Higher of which fair value less cost to sell and value in use, right? Which is higher?
12,434.
So CV you will take as 15,000 and recoverable amount you will take as 12,434, right?
Yes, sir.
And your impairment loss comes to 2,566, right? Same thing if I do here below. Carrying value is same, but recoverable amount is how much? 12,009. In which case impairment increased? 10% or 12%?
12%.
10%.
12%.
You now theoretically and mathematically also agree that increase in interest rate causes impairment.
Impairment.
Absolutely. This is how you study and prove yourself right there. Okay. Any other ways impairment can happen?
Outdated
Sir,
technology.
obsolescence.
In obsolescence or outdated technology or assets. Absolutely.
Damage of the asset.
Damage. It may be because of accident, cyclones, tornadoes. floods, natural calamities. Yes.
Economic performance of a company.
Yes, it can dampen the performance of an asset as well. Do you think not using an asset can cause impairment?
Yes, sir. Depends on the type of asset.
Yes. Now, if suppose you have a car or you have a plane, an aircraft, if you don't use a car or a plane for 2 years, will it work or will its value actually get eroded?
Its value will get eroded.
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 Absolutely. So not using an asset also will is a indication of impairment. Now, what you have to study at home? What are internal indicators? What are external indicators? I generally give this as a homework in all my classes, and I announce it again here. Will you find out 3-4 indicators of internal impairment and 3-4 indicators of external impairment from your books?
Yes, sir.
Every time, read those. I think they're given in your Kaplan. Okay, how are you guys going about your studies? Are you going just reading the study text at the moment? Is there somebody who is doing that? Tell me, is there anybody who's reading just the study text? Tell me.
So just a plain read.
Okay,
Sir, I am reading the sums, but still haven't started solving them.
okay. See, I will strongly request, please do not open up study text at least on 17th of May when your exams are around 8th or 9th of June, right? There's hardly any time left. Those who want, I will share with you a set of slides which I prepared, which you can go through and quickly complete your studies. Those who have it, well and good, who are in my batches. Those who don't have it, I will share that slides with you. Maybe tomorrow I need to grab that link and I will give it to you in the revision session too. Now, regarding the books, most of the students are confused, or maybe BPP भी solve कर लूं, Kaplan भी देख लूं. No, my first recommendation is complete your Kaplan books, complete the exam kit 100% of your Kaplan books, then only go towards BPP. Second most important thing for you to pass is your past exam papers. Whatever exam papers are listed on the website, download at least 4 or 5 past exam papers and try to solve it on your own. That is the second part. I saw one hands raised. I think it was Yashasvi. I think any doubt, Yashasvi? Saw some time back your hand was raised.
He is reading or who is starting the study text. So I was starting the study text, so who's completing.
Okay. Right now, that will be the biggest mistake which you can do studying the text because it's a long book, it's like 500, 600 pages. And tell me, if you study that long study text, are they going to ask you to write a short note or characteristics or features of some standard?
No, yeah.
There is no direct question. There is always an application. And why do we do that? Which is something which is not coming at all. That's something which you are wasting your energy unnecessarily. Now, second doubt which students have, sir, if you don't know the concept, how will we solve it? You don't need to know every word of that book. You just need to know the concept, the application of that concept. For example, impairment. Don't you think on the indicators of impairment, we can talk about 3 or 4 pages? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
But do they ask you 3 or 4 pages on writing on indicators of impairment?
No, sir.
I mean, in the last 25 years of papers which I've seen of ACCA, not a single question would have come like that. So why are we wasting energy? Question comes to that. We shouldn't do that. That's a wrong thing. Again, some of you, are you using those pocket notes given by Kaplan?
Yes, sir. Sometimes
Yes,
when I get
sir.
some doubt.
Don't use them. They're very brief. They're very, preliminary. So they will not give you confidence. I'll show you some of my slides, which I will pass on eventually tomorrow. And this will give you some confidence that what kind of readings you should do. Do you see my slides up on the screen there?
So you're presenting the question. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm just showing you a glimpse of how many slides are there in this chapter, in this particular PDF. There are 31 slides, okay? And you'll see they are having very specific concepts which you have to study here. Do you think this was what we discussed in the morning?
Yes, sir.
And this gives you a glimpse of every cost. Do you think these are the costs which we said are not included?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So see, this is with examples. If you solve these examples also, I think the answers are also given in these slides. So actually the real content which you have to learn or maybe understand is very, very less. There's a lot of slides which are going into examples. I hope this will benefit you for at least those chapters which you are not confident there. Please.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure, please.
Have you prepared the slides for every chapter, or have you done
Yes.
it on standards based?
I have done it on a standard by standard basis, not chapter by chapter, because maybe a chapter may have 3 or 4 standards.
Yeah.
So it is better to study standard wise and then go and solve the questions in the exam kit standard wise. So what I say to the students, they say today our revision session focused on IAS 16, IAS 38, IAS 36, and few more standards we will complete by the stipulated time. So why don't you have learned it, go to the exam kit and solve it out today and complete those 5 standards. So every day, if you do 3, 4, 3, 4 standards in a space of 7, 8 days, all these standards are going to get over. You hardly have 20, 21 standards total to solve. And few of the standards which you have are on group accounting. For that, anyways, long questions are there. So you would like to spend more time on the long questions. Chinmay, I will definitely share all my material with you. I'll share a link with all of you. And it contains my recordings also, recorded sessions, which I've taken in detail. So if you have doubt about a particular session, you can just locate the recording and you can even go through that. Is it okay if I share it tomorrow with all of you, including Chinmay?
So when you told you'll share the recordings also, are you talking about the revision recording you're doing right now,
Yes,
or
I will. No, these I will share with all of you my 60 hours of recorded sessions with another batch, an online batch.
okay,
So
sir.
already recorded. So those students who are struggling for cash flows, deferred taxes, financial instrument, want to go at their own pace before the exams and complete those topics, you can do that with those records. Again, that folder will contain the slides also, which I just now showed you. So you can download it. Regarding this revision recordings, it will be shared only after we complete the revision session. So you have to be active here every day in these sessions and not bank on the recordings. Okay. So recordings for this will be shared, but only after we complete. Okay.
Sir, can you share the link by today, sir?
See, give me time. There are 115 students, and I don't want pings coming from 115 students on my WhatsApp because I have one more SPR revision session lined up afternoon also. So it becomes very inconvenient to reply each and every student, and maybe a student feels rude if I don't reply. So let me share it tomorrow online in the class. Right? Varshini, yes, your hand
Okay,
is
sir.
raised.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how one should start the preparation for the FR exam if he or she is giving it on December?
um December, you have a lot of time for December, Varshini. So if you're giving the December exam, then ideal will be go through my recordings for the 60 hours, which I will be sharing. They're absolutely containing everything. And if you study that recordings, honestly, just like how you would have attended a live face-to-face class, I can assure you, you will pass the exams. I can give you that guarantee.
So
Then, hmm.
as you said that study text will contain a brief explanation of each and every concept. So should we start off with the study text first and do the workbook and then exam kit, or
You go through my recordings. You go through my recordings. for 2-3 days, 2-3 hours, you will get to know the tag. I will recommend you, you don't even have to pick up the study text more often. You can pick up the study text just to solve the end of the chapter's MCQs, or within the chapters, there are certain illustrations or questions. Na? I think that will, you can do. You don't even have to pick up the entire study. So answering your question very specifically, no, you don't have to study the entire 600 pages. You have to glimpse through it, go through my recordings, and you'll get the tact of it. I guarantee you. By the way, this same recordings was used by a batch in which one of the students had scored 92 marks. It was an online session during the COVID times, and we had it all online going on that time. And this is the same thing which we got a ranker. So, I mean, I can assure you it contains everything. Yes, yes, Yashasvi. Yes, sorry, I am pronouncing your name wrong. Yashvi.
Yeah, yeah. Sir, I was asking that you told to do according to standards wise from the exam kit, but exam kit doesn't contain specifically standard wise questions. So how to go through it?
No, it is very easy. If you have a soft copy of that material, like for example, I'll show you. I generally do that. Like for example, exam kit, you go. Just type in IFRS 9, for example, and it will take you to the bunch where IFRS 9 MCQs are there. Do you see all IFRS 9 MCQs coming here?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of those MCQs there. Once you finish that, then again type IFRS 9. It will take you to the section B sums where all IFRS 9 sums will be there. So as you keep on solving, at the side, this pane you can see, which is blank here, you can keep writing the standard number. This is based on IFRS 9. This is based on IS 36. And you can grade these questions into A, B, and C. A and B will be simple and medium. C will be difficult, which you did not understand when you did it first time. You want to revisit it before exams also. So you can grade them also. Okay.
Also, sir, can you share your number?
I will do that. Please let us keep these admin things and tasks towards the end of the session so that we can cover up technicals. I assure you and I promise you, you will get my slides, you will get the recordings, you will get my number as well as the revision session recordings post these 6 days of classes. Okay. I don't want these questions to be answered every day. It's a very regular phenomenon. I've come to these revision batches quite often, and every day we are facing the same questions and I'm answering the same questions. So a lot of time gets wasted into that. We'll do that towards the end. Okay. Let us move on. What was our agenda today? Let's check our agenda. What are we supposed to do today? Okay. I'm opening the agenda for today. Have we done IS 16? Right? Little bit of IS 16. Even we touched up impairment, which was not there. Did we talk about intangible assets?
Sir.
Kind of. Yes. Let us go to now the other aspects, 23, 40 and 20. Okay. I want you to talk about IS 40. What do you know about IS 40? What is this standard about?
Investment property.
Investment property.
Investment property. Okay, IS 40 is about investment property. How is investment property different from IS 16?
Investment in IS 40 is because IS
The IS
Hmm.
is with the intention of investment.
Hmm. Okay, so if you invest in a bond of a company, does IS 40 take care of that?
No, sir.
I think so it's in financial instruments.
It's a,
It will come in
yes, sir.
financial instrument. But so which kind of investments are we talking specifically?
So property is very own rentals.
Property means what? Property means what will you exactly? Will you take furniture fittings?
No, sir.
Only land and
Building.
building. These are the two assets which come under the purview of IS. Okay. Is this standard very similar to what we have discussed so far? Initial recognition. क्या है? Initial recognition is at
Cost.
cost. Perfect. Initial recognition and subsequent measurement is at what? Same or different?
Yes.
Same cost model and fair value model.
No. No, it's not same. You are all yourself saying it's a fair value model, right? Did we say fair value model in IAS 16 and IAS 38? Or did we say revaluation?
We said revaluation.
Revaluation. So what is the difference?
Evaluation also, don't we only take the fair value less cost to sale, which is the NRV?
Okay, okay. But then in the revaluation model, where do you take the gains if there is an increase in the market price of a land or building?
Revaluation surplus OCI.
Okay.
The
So
comprehensive income.
to the
SOPL.
decrease also we take it to the SOP. Don't you think this is a very different treatment from revaluation model?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
treatment is different, but I was talking about the amount. The amount is the same only now, which we take fair value in both NRV.
Right, right. See, the difference lies in the accounting treatment. So if I call this also revaluation model, let us say, don't you think this will be a big confusion, right? Imagine
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
in a class, if you have two guys, of the same name, and once we pronounce the name of one guy, both of them stand up. That confusion always happens, right? So what do? We either we have to give them nicknames, to announce their names. That's what we are doing. These two models are very similar, but the treatment of these models is not similar. So that's why we have to give it revaluation in IAS 16 and fair value here. Okay. Do we depreciate a fair value model in IAS 60, 40 year? What
No,
about
sir.
depreciation?
No,
We don't
No.
depreciate.
But
no, sir.
in cost model, do we charge depreciation?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We do depreciate in the cost model. Yes, depreciation. Okay. One more concept which they have started asking, and I see one question is that imagine there is Apple Limited, and Apple Limited has given this building on rent to Orange Limited. It has given it on rent. Apple Limited, what will this building be? Will it be IAS 16 or IAS 40?
40, sir.
40.
IAS
40, sir.
40. Okay. But what if I tell you now that Apple Limited acquires 100% shares of Orange Limited, or maybe even 80%? By virtue of 80 or 100% shares, what happens? Orange Limited becomes what?
Subsidiary.
Subsidiary. Now, Apple will prepare two types of books. One is individual books, right?
Consolidated
And
books.
second is consolidated books, right? And now they are renting out this building. So in individual books, you said it is IAS
40.
40. In consolidated books, then what will it be?
16.
It will be IAS 16. So whenever you are solving sums, will you look in whose books they are saying, Apple Limited books or Apple Group's books? Will you pay attention to that line?
So can you
Yes,
repeat?
sir.
अगर क्वेश्चन में दिया है perform the accounting treatment in the books of Apple Limited or Apple Group, don't you think you have to be cautious there in interpreting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to highlight. Be careful when it is Apple Limited or Apple Group, because if they say group means you have to do it in which books? Consolidated books. Accounting treatment will be very different. Can you transfer IAS 40 property to an IAS 16 property? Can an intention change?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
you having it as an investment, but abhi laga hai na, you want to construct a factory on it. You want to produce something. So what will you do when you transfer? So this is the point of transfer. At this date, what should you do? Any gain, where will you take it?
Statement of profit and loss.
Any loss, where will you take it?
Statement of profit and loss.
Perfect. So then you are going to transfer. If other way happens, IAS 16 you are transferring to IAS 40. At this point of transfer, gain will go to your OCI, declines will go to your SO. Am I clear here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, perfect. So you now get the logic of this IAS. Shall we take one sum and understand?
Yes.
Yeah, please, let's do that. Let me go to the handouts, and in the handouts, I think we have one company called MIMS company. It's a long question, and let me locate it. It's also above actually, and it's there as a screenshot also. So do you see this question number 4, which I put in serial number 4? There's a question called MIMS company. Let's go to that. Yes. Do you see this question? It's from your September, December 2021 examinations. Now, what is this question about? Does it look familiar?
Yes, sir.
A trial balance, right? Trial balance means what? It is a question based on published financial statement. Am I right? And see, it's having 7-8 adjustment, and then they're asking you to prepare P&L, changes in equity, and then extracts of your cash flows. Correct? Now, I'm not going to solve entire thing, but I'm going to solve the part relating to investment. Do you see adjustment number 5 here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to read what is the reporting date of this company. I just wanted to just have a look at the reporting period. What is the year ending? Did you have a look?
Yes, sir.
Done, sir.
31st December 05 X5. When did you purchase this investment property?
1st January acquisition.
Do you think dates will be important here?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. With the dates can, which model they are using to value this investment property? Cost
Fair
model
value.
or fair value? Okay.
Fair
You
value.
now know you have purchased it at the cost of 20 million, right? Okay. What else? What are they trying to give you?
20 years of useful life.
20 years of useful life. So fair value of the property on 31st December X5 has been assessed as 22 million, correct? All depreciation and amortization are charged to which head?
Administrator.
There were no other acquisitions or disposal of non-current assets. Now tell me, what will you do suggest about this investment? Check the dates carefully. Huh? Which year ending you are on? 31st December 20X5. We have purchased it on 1st of January 20X. Your model is fair value. What should you do? Will you charge depreciation on 20 million?
No, sir.
No.
Here it is written depreciation was recorded on this basis. So what does it mean?
What does that mean? Don't you think they have other PPE? Just check your
Yes, sir.
trial balance.
So they are talking for other people, not for this.
Yes, they're talking about for other PPE probably. So you have to be very careful that maybe other PPE has to be depreciated.
Yes, sir.
So what will you do with 20 becoming 22?
For SOPL, we will
Absolutely.
make profit.
Now, if you just present it like this and go in exam, will you gain your marks here for this adjustment? If you just say 20 plus 2 is 22, 2 will go to P&L. Will you get marks? Will anybody understand? If you didn't know IS, will you get any hint why we are doing 20 plus 2 is equal to 22? So what you should say? What should talk about? Don't you think you should give a reference of IAS 40 here? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? And would the answer be different if this was cost model? Would you have charged depreciation?
Yes, sir.
So you should mention that as per IS 40, those investment property which are valued under which model? Fair value model should not be depreciated. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Any gain or loss should be taken to the
SOPL.
SOP. Don't you think you know all these things? It's a matter of just writing it in the answers.
So can you tell us how to present this question like in an answer form?
See, when we go into a published financial statement discussion, the day I will present to you on that day. Would that be okay? Because in one
Yes.
session, everything I cannot mix up and take it. It will be more confusing than to help you. So let us stick to IS 40 today, and then I will show you the presentation on the day when published financial statements are there.
Is this 20 years useful life of this investment property or of other PPE? Because it is in the same sentence, it is given depreciation was recorded on this basis. So do we have to consider it for this
Okay.
property or other?
Let me read it. So the fair value of the properties has been assessed, but no accounting has taken place in relation to this. So if there is no accounting taken place, they wouldn't have accounted for the depreciation, right?
Yes, sir.
So probably your answer to this lies in the question itself, that we have to record the 2 million gain.
Yes.
Okay. So shall we move on to the other aspects? The next aspect is we'll take up one more sum on investment property to give you a more confidence in this. Let me pick up my slides. So I have one slide on investment property also. Okay, I just want to change one date here, which I normally do, and there's a reason behind it. Can I change one date here before we discuss it? Let me change this date to 31st of December 2009. Can we read this now? What is the year ending in this? First, note down that.
31st December.
31st December. Okay. What is the asset we are talking about?
Building.
Building. Okay. What was it used for till 30th of June?
Head office. Property
Head
planning.
office. Okay. What happened after that? After 30th June, what did
It
we
is
do?
now letting out its head office. So it has become a rented property, investment property.
Okay. You are not using it right now, is it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you are letting it. Okay. Which model are you using for investment property?
Fair value model.
Fair
When
value
did you purchase this building?
2000. 1st January.
Long back, right? Long back. Okay. So till 30th June, what should we do with this property? 30th June 2009.
Should
Sir, we should treat
depreciate.
like
Depreciate.
Depreciate, like IAS 16, right? And after 30th June, we should treat it as
Like
in
investment.
investment.
like. Okay. So on 30th June, if there is any gain or loss, where will you park that gain or loss?
Sir, to OCI revaluation
Gain to the OCI, loss to the
SOPI.
Okay. तो अभी करो इसे. We start with 1st Jan 2000, right? We'll put it in an Excel sheet here. So 1st Jan 2000. What was the cost we purchased it at? Tell me.
250,000.
250,000.
250. Perfect. Cost है आपकी 250. What is the life of this building? 50 years. चलो मुझे 30th जून 2009 तक इसकी कैरिंग वैल्यू बताओगे? 30th June 2009, what will be its carrying value? How many years of depreciation you have to charge? How many years? Anybody tell me?
8 years, 6 months.
Okay. How many? 6 months?
8 years, 6 months.
8 years, 6 months. Or can we say, are you sure it's not 9 years and 6 months?
9 years
No.
and 6 months, sir.
I want all of you to count on your fingers if you're not confident. It's okay. Count it on your fingers because this is the place, dates are crucial in the sums. I tell it, you make mistakes there. 2000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So till 8, it is 9 years and 6 months of the 2009 year. That makes it 9.5 years. Am I right? 9.5 years.
Yes.
So how will you depreciate this? 250 divided by how many years? 50 years multiplied by 9.5. So what is the answer you get? Carrying value. Tell me. You get this carrying value. What happened on this date? Imagine if I wouldn't have changed the date, I would have kept the date same. What was my earlier date? Remember, it was
30th June.
30th of June 2009. If you imagine its value was 350, what would you have done here? Don't you think you would have valued it at 350?
Yes, sir.
What would you have done with the gain?
Sir, to the OCI.
To the OCI. Very much. This would have gone to your OCI. Okay. After you would have taken it to the IAS 40, would you depreciate it for the remaining 6 months for
No, sir.
2009?
No.
No. Why?
No, sir.
Why?
Sir, because IAS 40 does not allow.
Yes,
Fair
because
value
it's
model
a
is not
fair
depreciated.
value model. Yes, that's the reason. Okay. और अगर मान लो ये date I had revised it to 31st December 2009, then what would you have done in that case?
So we would have considered the other 6 months also.
Yes, we would have considered it 202 500 as the value, right? And we would have transferred it to IAS 40.
40.
Then year end, what is the value given? 350. So this 147 500, what would you have done? The difference. This would have gone to OCI or SOPL?
Sir, SOPL.
SOPL, because it is coming after you have converted to ISO, isn't it? I hope all of you are clear with the distinction in treatment.
Yes, sir.
Right. So these are, see, investment property. Do you see my slides there here on the page? How many slides are there? How many slides can you see? 13
sir.
slides,
13.
right? Maximum 13 slides. Okay, first slide is a title page, right? Last slide is a thank you page. That leaves 0. How many slides to read?
11.
11.
In that, can I say these 2 slides are examples? This again 2 slides are examples.
Yes, sir.
So remove 4 slides from the 11 slides.
9.
4 slides from the 11 slides. So thank you and opening page you removed. So it made 11. Don't you think effectively you have to read 7 slides there? Yes.
Just tell the question again.
I said from this 13 page.
So the example question which we solved, can you just put it up again?
Okay. Do you want me to revisit that question?
Yes, sir.
Dates part, the change in dates part.
See, if the original sum is there 30th June 09, what did we do? When on 30th June 09, can we say this is my valuation?
Yes, sir.
So if this valuation is there, this increase of 147,500, where will it go?
So OCI.
Yeah, because it was still an IS 16 asset, right? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But if this is not as on 30th June, this is given as on 31st of December. This, then don't you think the gain which comes from the transfer of this IS 4202 to 350, the increase will go to SOPA because now it is under
IS.
IS 40 fair value model.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
That's what I said. What I was saying is my slides are effectively 7 pages. Is it easier to read 7 pages than open a study text and read some pages there, 4 or 5, 6 pages? Yeah. That
Slides.
makes the study very fast. You have to decide you want to do fast track studies and be on the exam questions, or you want to just roam around in that study text in those long pages and concepts. It's a choice you have to make. My recommendation is that you can study the slides, supplement with the study text, and go to the exam kit. That's it. Your task is done. Okay, last standard for the day. We have another 15 minutes left. And what was the standard which we were supposed to discuss? One more standard.
Cost and government grants.
Borrowing cost. And borrowing cost, in a way, we have discussed, but I'll revisit it again. Okay, what is borrowing cost? Tell me.
So the cost included while we are considering a qualifying asset.
Qualifying. So qualifying asset is what? This is the major question being tested in
For
that.
an asset to be in
Sir,
use.
which takes some times to construct.
Yes, it takes time to complete. So can we say these are something related to self-constructed asset?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because it's qualifying asset. We cannot purchase a ready-made building and say मैंने उसके ऊपर loan लिया था and the interest I'm paying on that loan is a borrowing cost. Why? Because that building itself is not a qualifying asset. It was ready-made. These are those assets which are self-constructed, or as you rightly technically said, this takes substantial period of time to complete. Okay, got it, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Now, when it comes to borrowing cost, what is included in borrowing cost? Can anybody tell me what is included in borrowing cost? This is a very,
Sir,
sorry, what expenditure?
uh, no, sir.
So mainly
You don't feel that you are wrong, so you will not
Interest
answer.
paid.
sir, mainly we take the interest cost, the finance cost we paid for the loan we have taken to construct.
Absolutely. So you can say the interest cost on the loans. That is a very clear answer. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now, don't you think there are other ways, where you raise your finance through issuing bonds, right? Issuing bonds or loan notes. You remember? This can also raise money. But when you issue bonds, sometimes you issue it at a discount. Isn't it? You issue at a discount, you redeem at a premium. Have you seen these concepts coming in financial instrument?
Yes, sir.
So this is when you issue a $100 bond at a price of $80, $20 discount. Who bears that discount? Tell me.
Sir,
We are bearing. We are bearing, right?
The one who takes the loan.
No, the one who issues the loan.
Oh,
If you took the loan, loan note, you purchased it, you are benefiting. Na? You get $100 loan note, but you have to pay only $80. Is
yes.
it?
Yes, sir.
Who is bearing that discount? The company which has issued the loan, right? Sometimes $100 at maturity, we promise the shareholders we will redeem it at a 10% premium. That means we are going to pay not $100 but 110. Who is bearing that $10?
the issuer.
We as a company. Can we say this $20 and $10 are also like borrowing cost in a way?
Yes.
Yeah. because they may not look like interest, but it is still a borrowing cost. Sometimes do we raise foreign currency loans? Yes.
Yes,
It is
sir.
the risk with foreign currency loans. क्या हो सकता है?
So there are two risks. One risk is our regular default type of risk, and the second risk is exchange rate fluctuation risk.
Yes, there can be foreign exchange gain or loss. Don't you think that is also part of your borrowing cost? Isn't it? And when you apply for a loan, when you raise a loan, when you go to a bank, will the bank give you the loan straight away, or would you have to do some credit checks with the bank?
Yes, sir, some issuing.
So there can be a lot of issue cost also, right? Remember, these are little odd areas of the syllabus. They may not ask you, but you still need to know it. Can we say this apart from interest cost, issue on discount, sorry, discount on issue, premium on redemption, then the foreign exchange gains and losses and the issue cost can also be a part of your borrowing cost. Am I right?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, how do we know the future forex gain or loss?
See, every year that loan will be having some gain or losses, no? Don't you
Yes,
think?
sir. Sir, every year it will be having, but if we have to consider it at one time.
Yeah. So every year till the loan is on, every year whatever gains and losses you are having, that will be added or subtracted to the.
Okay, sir. And sir, if we issue loan notes at a premium, will we subtract it from our finance cost?
When you issue the loan notes at a premium, see that is factored in your interest cost only in the form of effective interest cost. So instead of taking that part of the premium in the interest cost, you will factor it in the asset value. You will add it that you will not take that to the P&L. You will add it to the cost of the asset. Simpler. Okay. All of you are clear with borrowing cost?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I'll give you one or two examples and you give me the answers. Let us say I'm constructing building worth $50,000. How much? $50,000. To construct the buildings, I took the following loans. So loan number 1, 2, 3, and 4 loans I took. And these loans are from various banks. So one is from HDFC, one is from Axis, one is from ICICI, and fourth one is from which bank should I take here? Maybe I'll take it from Union Bank of India. Okay. What is the loan amount? One bank gave me 10,000, another bank gave me 12,500, another bank gave me, 25,000, and another bank gave me, let me take round figures. Let me take this as 15,000, and this bank gave me 20,000. What is the total loan sanctioned? See, total loan sanctions are 70, right? Interest rates is different, 10%, 8%, 9%, and 12%. Imagine whole year the construction was on and whole year these loan amounts were outstanding. How much amount will you capitalize? You all listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How much amount will you capitalize? Will you capitalize this entire interest? Why not? No. Why you are?
We haven't taken loan for 70,000. It is just sanctioned.
Okay, it is just sanctioned. So actually the qualifying assets value is only 50,000. So we can capitalize only to the extent of the interest paid on 50,000. Do you know which loan you are used for constructing the building? Do you know which specific loan you have used?
No.
construct the building.
Is it like
No,
a
sir.
home loan?
Weighted average.
So we will do a weighted average. How do you do weighted average? Can you tell me the formula?
So the loan plus the interest into the loan of the other one plus the interest divided by.
Okay, so can we say 6850 divided by 70,000? Simple as that, and multiplied by 100? Yes or no? Total interest divided by the loan amount, right?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I'm right. It's that simple. Okay. What is your interest percentage, average interest? 6850 divided by 70.
Nine.
Yes, you get something 9.79, right? Now, out of this 6850, can we take entire amount to the balance sheet, add it to the cost of asset?
No, sir.
No. How much will we take it capitalized from this? How do you find it out?
Sir, how means जितना हमने उस पे expense किया है 50,000 उससे multiply
50,000 expense किया multiplied by 9.79%. So we get 4895. That means कितना expense होगा? How much we will take it to expense? Can we say 1955? All of you are clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, if I give you scenario 2, imagine SBI loan was specifically used for construction of building. Then would your answer change? Tell me. If the data is same, and I put it here, SBI loan was specifically used for construction of building, then what will you do?
So 2,400 will go to the will be going for the capitalization.
Okay, so you will you are going to separate this loan and you are straight away going to capitalize. Okay, but then you don't know which loan was used from the other three. Tell me. What will you do?
Find the weighted average for these three, sir.
Okay, okay. Shall we find out then the weighted average for these three loans?
Yes, sir.
So this comes to 50 and this comes to 4450. So if weighted average, I am assuming now you know the formula and I'm doing it straight away. That will be
4,450 divided by 50,000
okay.
into 100.
And that comes to
8.9.
8.9. Now, how much should we capitalize from 4450?
2,400.
How did you get that?
So because we are using SBI loan specifically here.
So that's how you got it. Perfect. But remaining how much? 4450 is your interest totally then.
We have to it.
What should I do? From two.
We will subtract the 20,000, 50,000 and 30,000 will be calculated as 8.90.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you want to capitalize not on the entire loan of 50 because out of the construction cost of 50, you have already used 20. So remaining is only 30 multiplied by 8.9%. So this will be capitalized and what will be expensed out? From 4450, what we are not capitalized. Can we say this will be expensed out?
Yes, sir.
In essence, how much are we capitalizing here? In essence, we are capitalizing how much? 2670 plus 2400. Yes. And what are we expensing out here?
1780.
1780. I hope all of you get this.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So I think these are the things which you should keep in mind for borrowing cost. And did you observe in your Kaplan exam kit, there are very few questions on borrowing cost, isn't it?
Yes.
IS-23. Don't worry because that's a very small discussion in your chapter, one learning out. So please do not overspend your time on a topic unnecessarily. Just solve the basics, no few complex questions in your kids and study text, and that's it. Your preparation is okay. Fine. We move on to the last standard of the day. That's IAS 20. Okay. So what is IAS 20 about? Can anybody brief me up?
Government grant.
Government. Okay. By the way, we will not ask you to define government grants. So what is a government grant? I mean, if I ask you what is a grant, the last standard for the day today, what is a grant? Is grant something given to you for free?
No, we have to sacrifice some needs for
Hmm.
uh, we have to sacrifice some needs to get that grant money.
Can we call these? We have to comply with certain conditions to meet with that grant to be eligible for that grant.
So there are some performance obligations that
Yes,
to
sir.
perform
Some
by the
performance
government.
requirements.
There can be performance obligation or some conditions which you have to comply. For example, employing handicapped people in your factory, that can be a condition on the basis of which government gives you grant. There can be a condition that if you employ solar panels to power your factory, then government is ready to grant certain amount to you. Don't you think these are conditions? Okay. So who issues the grants? For the purpose of the standard IS 20, what is government here? I mean, who is issuing the grants? Tell me. Government. What did they define government as? It is any body which is local, national, or international. Okay. So it can be any body, government or non-government body. So they are not talking about just government. Though the standard is titled as government grants, it can be international body. Can you tell me one international body which can fund you?
World Bank, UN.
Yes, UN.
So IMF.
Absolutely. So these are some of the international bodies. Nobody asks you definition, but just remember government grant is not given for free. There is a condition. Okay, what are the accounting methods for the government grants? Can you tell me?
Net off and deferred.
Deferred method. Okay. So whenever you are looking at grants, first classify grants into two types. What are the two types? One is asset related grant and one is income related. Can you tell me what is the difference between these two broad categories?
Asset-related grants are generally capitalized grants. We deduct total whole grant amount from the purchase value. We will deduct year by year like depreciation.
Mhm.
We'll do like day-to-day expense. We will directly net the expense with that grant, or we will just
It's related to direct day-to-day expenses which are being funded. For example, your salary expense. Hmm. Yes, Ruchit. Yeah. Tell me.
So we can say it a revenue grant.
You can say that way also, but better way is these are those grants which are related to the item out that is being reimbursed by the government. That can be income related. And asset related is what? Government is giving you money or asset to buy an asset which will be used not in 1 year but for many years, right? The benefit of that grant is not for 1 year but more than 1 year. Okay. So what you said about two methods, deferral methods and the deduction methods. I assume these are very simple methods. What is deferral methods? Do you net off the grant in the deferral method or show it separately?
show it separately.
We show it separately. And here, what do we do in the deduction method? we net off, right? I think very simple. Grant standard is very simple. Okay. Any form of grant, do you recognize it immediately in the P&L as income?
No.
Okay. If there are conditions to be met, you will amortize or you will spread the grant over the time period over which those conditions would be completed. Correct?
Yes.
In deduction method, there is no problem at all. You will net it off and depreciate it like a normal asset. Okay. Any questions around grants? Anything you want to ask me? Because it's a very simple thing. I'm just closing it off here. Now over to questions which you were asking me. Sir, can I have your number? My number is there, but please guys ensure that I am 1%, you all are 115 now. So maybe if you try asking me a lot of things one to one, it becomes a challenge. So you can have my number though, that's my WhatsApp number. And if there is something which you feel that you're not getting your answer from your friends, colleagues, anywhere, and it's important, then I'll appreciate that you reached me out. Second thing, I think I promised you about the recording. I'll give that link tomorrow once we start these sessions. Would that be fine?
Sir, you told you will be sharing the materials for the revision session also. So, will you share that tomorrow with the link, the recordings also?
I just
or
not shared it in the
you?
chat box, na? But have you not received that material in the chats now? I
No,
just
sir.
Okay. What I will do is I'll share that material as a link tomorrow with all of you.
Okay.
So you can download that. So Google Drive link, then you can copy paste and download the material. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in case those who haven't received, now what do I do? The best way is to just share a Google Drive link which you all can download. I will only recommend that most of the downloads which you do, try it from your laptops or desktops, not on your mobiles. Mobiles sometimes, I do not know, technology at times is not so integrated, I feel. Maybe it doesn't open there or download, but it will perfectly do it. You can do it on a laptops or desktops. Okay, anything else which I haven't addressed or shared? So I hope this revision session, the day one, has been helpful for majority of your all of you. And it's something, in these revision sessions, we can't teach everything. You can understand that it's hardly 15, 17 hours here, which we'll be discussing. So it's very difficult to punch in, crunch everything and pack it in this 2.5 hour sessions. What I will try to do is emphasize on the most important areas of the syllabus, which you guys have to remember and have to solve it out. I'll be focusing more on group accounting, financial instruments, deferred taxations, revenue accounting in the days to come, and basically some more techniques in the days to come. I will be briefing up. हेतांश, again I have this same question from you. Recordings कब मिलेंगी revision session की? मैंने already बोला है after the 6 days are completed, you will all get the recordings. Not before that, because morning, evening, afternoon sessions are going on, and it's difficult to compile all the recordings in a day and share it immediately. So give us time, and on the by the end of the 6th session, you should have all the recordings. Okay, thank you all of you. Anything in specific anybody wants to ask? Yes, no, Mudra, you want to ask me something?
No, sorry. I am clear with the topics that you taught
Okay.
me to. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Maybe I couldn't address everybody with your names. So please pardon me for that and see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.